Hey, it's your boy Nathan here, aka Six Cinema. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. It would be greatly appreciated. You probably already know by the thumbnail and the title of this video, but for today's video, I'm going to show you how I shot a coffee commercial in my room. Let's check it out. So a lot of the shots that I used for this coffee commercial were just stationary shots on my tripod because I'm in a small space. I didn't really have much room for movement. So keeping it on the tripod was probably the best option for a lot of these shots. And I tried to make sure that a lot of the movement was in the frame. So either the hand moving or the coffee beans pouring or whatever it was, I wanted to make sure I could get as much movement in the frame because my shot was so stationary. So let's go and dive into Final Cut now, and I will show you how I edited these clips. I got Final Cut open here already. Obviously I already made the video, so I have a finished edit all ready to go, but I'm just going to show you as quick as I can a little tutorial on how I edited the footage that I shot. Let's go through the footage that we took and see what the best clips are. I have a bunch of them highlighted already, so I'm just going to drag them down. So now that we have our timeline here and we established what kind of story we want to tell, let's go through and do the edits that I made earlier in this video. So I believe this shot of the coffee cup, originally my idea was to pull the coffee cup out of frame because I wanted to have it as like an end shot to show him grabbing the cup and drinking the coffee, but I eventually decided to reverse this clip and I made the cup go into frame. So I have that. It is slow and it takes up already 5 seconds. So what I did, I added speed ramps to this. What you have to do for speed ramps, make sure your clip is highlighted. Go to the area that you want your speed ramp to happen, and then you go Shift B. That adds this little marker here. And then we'll do a speed ramp back out after he drops the cup. Make sure it's highlighted, Shift B, and we have our speed ramp there. Now all that we have to do is I want to keep this middle part slow here, so I'm going to drag this down to make it faster. Let's zoom in here so we can see what the speed is, and I'm going to drag it to about 500%. And I'm going to do the same for the end clip here. I'm going to go 500%. These gray bars here, I usually just drag them a little closer. So it's just giving a nice curve instead of a hard cut if you just did a regular slow clip to fast clip. So that's what these gray bars here, I'm just adjusting it because I don't want it to go too far into this fast clip. So we can just fix that there. And we'll bring this down to 500%, just like the first clip. So now that we have our clip here, speed ramped and ready, you see it's boom, fast in, fast out. I think that's a little faster than what I did originally, but it's fine. We're just doing a quick edit here. So now we go from the coffee cup over to the beans. I don't think I really did anything for that clip. The only thing I might have done was punch it in a little bit. This was the only shot where I had the camera handheld. I just wanted to give a little bit of movement, and it would have been weird to have this stationary. Followed his hand all the way through until he pours the beans, and now we get to our bean shot. Obviously you can see the sides, you can see the background of what my frame was, so we need to get rid of that. Let's punch in on this. I'm going to center this clip right there. I'm going to cut this down halfway because we don't need that long of a shot, and we can move on to our next shot. I'm going to cut this off because it abruptly stops at the end, so I'm just gonna make a little adjustment there. I don't have the right coffee pouring shot, so I'm gonna go back in and find it. There you go, there's our slow-mo of the coffee pouring, and we will cut this down a lot. This shot, you can see the background again, so I'm gonna punch in here and adjust the clip a little just so it's centered. And now we got our slow-mo shot of the coffee pouring in, and then it cuts to our top-down coffee pouring in, and I'm gonna cut it about halfway, just a little more halfway, and you can tell because we have our coffee already started pouring here, so I wanted to make sure that there's some coffee in this cup when we show the top down, and we'll drag that in. The hero shot, I don't know what I was doing. This is clearly not lined up, but I'm gonna punch in here a bit and adjust this to make it centered. I don't think this is the hero shot that I used for my actual coffee video, but we'll use it for today's purposes. So now we look at our timeline and we got our speed ramps, but it's still very stagnant. So what I did after this, I did a lot of keyframe zooms into some of these stagnant shots. So these first two shots were good because there's movement already. We don't have to worry about the keyframe zoom ins. This shot here was the first shot that I did to keyframe the zoom in. So you go over to your transform, you press plus on the scale at the beginning of your clip, then you go to the end of your clip and then back one, and then do a little slight zoom in, an extra 10% will zoom in there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this clip. We have our timeline here, it looks great. One thing I added to make this video look a lot better, I added a little steam, a little smoke. Because on this end shot, you want to see your finished coffee steaming, a nice hot coffee ready for you to drink. So what I did is I added this green screen smoke effect. And to get rid of that green, you go into the effects tab and you search keyer, drag that keyer over. Let's move it in place so it looks good and we have it right on top of the coffee cup. So it doesn't look too overdone. I'm gonna go into the opacity and I'm gonna drag it down basically to 2% just to get a little steam coming out of that coffee cup. And if you play that back, nice little steam coming out of the cup and we're done. It looks great, but of course you have to have sound and you want to add a little music because this is a commercial. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this sound down, and they have a lot of free sounds that on YouTube that you can use, and they're perfect for creators, and that's why they have them there. So why don't I use it to my advantage? I wanted to add some nice sound effects to make this more realistic. So I added a coffee shop sound just in the background of people talking. Nice sound effect here where it shows it has the coffee cup hitting the table, the beans pouring out of the jars, so I have a sound for that here too. And we needed a sound for the coffee pouring. To finish it off at the end, I added a sound of someone sipping the coffee at the end just to tie it all in, and if we play it back, we have our final video. And that's it right there. I just made a coffee video in my room. It did not take long at all. It took probably about an hour and a bit to film the shots, and this was like a 10-minute edit. Of course, I would go in and perfect a lot more things, making sure everything's lined up. Of course, color grading, but I just wanted to do a short little tutorial to show you how I edited this coffee video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and maybe you can go out there and try out your own coffee video or whatever you want to shoot. But you don't need a big studio to shoot. That's what I'm trying to show here, is like all you need is a little space, a camera, and you can literally make anything you want. So I hope you liked today's video. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also follow me on Instagram at 6cinema. But that is it for me, and I hope to see you next time for a brand new video. Take it easy. Peace. I just finished it after recording this 3 times because my camera battery died and this microphone died. Oh, you're still here? What are you doing? Come on, get out of here. If you're really here this long, you might as well hit that subscribe button like I said earlier. Come on. Anyway, easy.